Hi. Over the weekend, I had an opportunity to talk to a young executive, and we were sharing notes about relationships with employees and other people within their realm of relationships and people that surround them. And an interesting dialogue occurred when we started talking about hiring the right people. It seems that there's a lot of new leaders, particularly small business leaders, who are growing and experiencing this phenomena of having to hire more people as their company grows, and in order for them to deliver their promises, they need a team and a well functioning team. One of the interesting things about this is sometimes they don't realize the importance of hiring almost what would be considered as a maverick by larger corporations, because the people are very independent that you need to target. And here's the thing: independent people are in the second strata of what I call relationships. At the bottom, you have dependency. There's a lot of people, based on my experience in working with large companies, there's a number of people engaged in the corporate world that are dependent on others. They're dependent on their manager. They're dependent on the company. They're dependent on a number of things, and usually they're very good at the blame game, and they seek security over growth, and they block a lot of things just because they don't want to have to change and face change. So what we want are mavericks. Mavericks are people that are independent first, so they've gained a level of certainty that they can do whatever job it is and do it successfully, and yet they want to play with others, and they want to lead, or they want to get involved, they want to create, or they just have a passion that is related to the culture of the organization. Now, in smaller companies, from 2 to 19 people, this is probably one of the most important concepts for a small business owner to pay attention to. Are the people passionate about your culture? I mean, do they understand the purpose and the cause that you've created the company, and they champion that at all times and with anybody? These are also most of the time very independent people. Again, they would be mavericks within a large company because they would not be satisfied with the status quo. They would constantly want to grow, be informed, stay in the know, and stay active. So what we want to do is to find people like that through our hiring processes. And the best thing that could happen is that when they come on board, we onboard them in such a way that they feel engaged, encouraged, and excited about working with other independent people. And what happens, a synergistic rise occurs to where there's interdependency, which is the ultimate status that we want our people to attain. Now, why is that important? It's very simple. With a person who is involved in interdependency, they are looking at how they can improve other people. You see the difference? If they're independent, they may want to take all the credit themselves. What we want are people to elevate from independence up to this interdependency level, so that they're working and striving to grow their people, the team, and at the same time perform at very high levels on an individual basis. This is what creates very, very high camaraderie within an organization. It creates a positive culture, and that's what we need to look for more. Now, there are assessments that help identify the strength of the individual and whether they're internally driven or just kind of a total team player, or a combination. I mean, there's all kinds of combinations. Everybody is unique, yet the assessments, when you use them properly, They will identify all the natural strengths and weaknesses that a person brings to the table. With our executive approaches, we look at how they do things, the why, which is mostly related to high performance. Then we look at the quality of the individual, the quality of their choices and decisions, how they solve problems, and do they execute or not. That's another part of the assessment. And then finally, we look at competencies. What have they mastered and what do they need to improve? And how does that relate to the job that they're taking on? Are they able to start and immediately hit the road running full speed, or do they have to be coached, developed, and trained in order to do that at the level that they need to be for the job to be successful that they have positioned themselves in? Anyway, not to be selling assessments here, but I wanted to just point out that that's one way. The other way is during the interview process, you begin to ask more questions about relating their personal high performance traits. What have they done? What have they done in the past? What frustrates them? And then move on to that next level of how they work with teams, how they motivate others. What's the most important job for a manager? Surprise, surprise, it's not to build widgets or make sales, make them hit the numbers and that sort of thing. It is to develop the people underneath them so that they're the ones that are bringing in the numbers and producing the widgets and that sort of thing. They cannot do it themselves anymore. The company is growing, it's becoming more complex, there's more people involved, and therefore it is a job of the manager and the leader to motivate and excite the culture, to set the culture up for high performance. And that way it's sort of self-sustaining at that point, and we get more high performance from ordinary people. And that's our ultimate goal. So that's my Monday morning tip. And I thank you for your time. Please leave a comment below. It's very important that we get some comments so that people will know that what we're talking about is important and valuable. And then also, if you want to ask questions, I would love the questions, particularly if you're concerned about something and you would like an answer. Or if you want to talk to me about certain aspects of things that we do, you're welcome to go to callvoss.com. And if you would, write that in the comment section, callvoss.com. And it will take you to my automated scheduling system, and we'll schedule a call, and we can talk briefly about what's on your mind. It's all about you. It's not a sales pitch at all. Just talking about you. That's it. That's the extent of my sales pitch today. So if you want to talk, we can talk, and then you can decide what to do next. All right. Thank you. You take care. Have a great week.